for a little, but first, Nick, you're up, buddy. You're throwing it back to an epic Dirk playoff performance.
I missed an anniversary. Not me and my wife's. That happens regularly. Dirk Nowitzki's 10-year anniversary of one of the greatest playoff games during one of the greatest playoff runs ever was yesterday. I forgot, so we'll do it today. He scored 48 points in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in 2011 en route to the championship. That's great in and of itself. This is what makes it unprecedented. He scored 48 points on 15 field goal attempts, 0 three-point attempts.
Really?
My guy was 12 of 15 from the field, 24 of 24 from the line. That adds up to 36 of 39 overall, no threes. So everyone remembers Dirk's 2011 championship almost less as his championship and more as LeBron's failure. What is forgotten is he swept out the two-time defending champion Lakers, then beat KD, Russ, and Harden, and then beat the Miami Big Three with performances such as this. So one day late, happy 10-year anniversary to my guy Dirk, who I think on our NBA awards section, they have my head on his body in a very odd three-button suit. Yeah. So another shout-out to Dirk for that as well. 10-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Dirk. So obviously, guys, we've all seen Marcell Ozuna from the Atlanta Braves. This is what he does. He hits a home run. He rounds the bases. And at some point, there it is, he stops to pose for a selfie. So, and there's another one. So Ozuna, and they're going to do it again. Ozuna's teammate, Freddie Freeman, must have somehow brought the tradition home. Because his son, Charlie, only in preschool and only apparently in pajamas, does it as well. The old selfie as he's playing in the backyard with his dad. And first I was like, how is Freeman's son mimicking Freeman's colleagues at work? Until I started to see it happening around my house the other day. True story. I hear my 7-year-old from her bedroom, blammo. I'm like, blammo? Where did you get that from? My other daughter, the little one, she's starting every story with, but hold on, America. And then Nick's daughter, Deanna, talking about Danny Ainge on her YouTube channel. Like, the whole thing is mind-blowing to me. So, folks, be careful. Your kids are always listening, and they're always watching it. I know it from personal experience, Kevin Wildes.
My son also did the LeVar leap to get some cookies yesterday. Hey, good news and bad news for the Arizona Cardinals defense. The good news is your defense is much improved. You got Buda Baker making great tackles. You got J.J. Watt. You got Zaven Collins, number 15 pick out of Tulsa. The bad news. I want to take it easy on those robots. The singularity's on the way, around the corner. Ask Elon Musk. So Buda Baker, when our sentient yet soulless beasts come after people, that's not DK Metcalf chasing you, buddy. That's going to be a robot. So, you know, good news, bad news. Hopefully you get a full season in before they take over.
Don't hit back.
And sleep. Make us all their servants.
This one does.
It's going to be terrible.
You guys want to play a little game? Let's call it the confidence meter. So here we go. We're going to start with the Bucks and Heat, the 3-6 matchup in the East. Sound familiar? It should. It's a rematch of last season's Eastern Conference Finals. Remember, Miami took care of the Bucks in 5 en route to the actual finals. So, LeVar, the Bucks' confidence level headed into the series with the Miami Heat should be blank.
Composed. 100% composed. They don't need to be worried. I know they beat them last year, and Jimmy Butler is the dude, and I like, you know, what they got going on in Miami, but composed. I feel confident on my confidence meter, making it composed for Giannis. They have Giannis. I mean, come on. He could be the MVP for what it's worth. He's playing some great basketball. He's healthy. If you recall, he was injured last year in the playoffs. So, composed. Don't be too confident, but don't be too worried.
I'm gonna go LeVar a stretch further and say, while they shouldn't be stress-free, they should be confident. They should feel even better than composed, because this is not the same Bucks team as last year. They added Drew Holiday. Because Drew is so great defensively and doesn't put up gaudy offensive numbers, I think people underrate him. He has an argument that he should be on the very competitive All-NBA team at the guard spot. They gave up 3 first-round picks for him for a reason. And Giannis, I think, has learned from some of these failures. So I understand why people feel like, oh, the Heat are the worst possible matchup. It should be noted, Wilds, the Bucks had the opportunity to ensure they wouldn't play the Heat in game 71 of the season. They played Miami. If they had thrown that game against Miami the way the Clippers threw their games this weekend, the Heat would have moved up in the bracket. Instead, they competed and they beat Miami, seemingly because they don't care about the matchup, or they wanted this matchup. That tells me they're confident, Wilds.
That's good. Well, I think they should be a little bit worried because they've yet to see Jimmy Butler. And last year, Jimmy Butler shot over 50% from the field. I know they've got better defense, even though Giannis was Defensive Player of the Year last year. I would be worried about the Jimmy Butler factor at all times, Jenna.
Not mad at that.
Okay. Let's head out west now. Another playoff rematch from last season. Wilds looks good as I talk about it. Gilbert's and Mavs in the 4-5 slot. Still does. You look good today, Wilds. I think that's agreed upon by all. Hey, Clippers beat Dallas in 6 last year in the first round before getting bounced by Denver. LeVar, you also look good, so let me ask you first. The Clippers' confidence level heading into the series with Dallas should be blank.
I mean, after a compliment from you, Jenna, I'm saying that they should feel the same way as me. Confident. That confidence meter should stay on confident. Can't be too composed and saying, you know what, we're the Clippers. Everybody counts them out, calls them the paper clips, as Broussard may say, or the pretenders. There's so many different nicknames used, but you know what? Yeah. These guys are going to pull it together and look for the duo, the dynamic duo of PG, and obviously Kawhi to do what they need to do. So I say be fairly confident in this one.
I would have said that 96 hours ago, but Wilds, now I have to go worried. And listen, I know I'm a numbers guy, and if I don't go with the numbers, I'm an eye test guy. I typically leave the metaphysical realm to you. But one of my sources told me, you know who's very angry with the Clippers? The basketball gods. They're actually a little ashamed of the Clippers for what they did this weekend.
Love it.
And I am not one to say that the basketball gods are going to intervene on behalf of my large adult Slovenian son, but I am one to say that a team, Luka, that a team that goes out of its way to get this specific matchup because they want to wait to play the Lakers, maybe you don't ever get the opportunity to play the Lakers because you were worried about what's down the road instead of what's right in front of you. So I think they should be worried, Wilds.
That's funny.
I think that's a great take. And speaking of your large adult Slovenian son, you've done a great job raising him. And what did you tell him about bullies and about being picked on? You know what you need to do? Stand up. And last year, Marcus Morris bullied Luka all over the court, stepping on his ankle, pushing him around, and now he has since apologized. However, I think the Clippers should be a little bit worried because I don't think hey, let's bully Luka a little bit and get him off his game is going to work this year. So I'm going to also go worried, Jenna. I think Luka has a big series. Granted, maybe him and KP aren't the best of friends and they kind of explode from within, but I still think that the Mavs have a good shot at beating the Clippers, so the Clippers should be quite worried.
Also, Wilds, let me remind you one other thing. Guess what just went back to zero? Luka's tech meter.
Oh, yes, tech.
So he can chirp all he wants. He's free reign. No suspension coming. And given the way the Clippers cheap shotted him and hit him and bullied him last year, I feel like he is going to, early in this series, get in the ref's ear and say, you got to watch for this, you got to watch for that. So I think all that, I'm not saying, we haven't done the picks yet, not saying I'm picking the Mavs to win, but I think they got a real good shot, Jenna.
The Clips are going to clip them.
All right. The NBA regular season in the books. It's time for Nick to